Where is the recession? All throughout 2022 and 2023, we've heard the media talk about how bad things are in the economy, that we're going to have job losses, that we're going to have business slowdowns, business closures, everything's more expensive, bad news, bad news, bad news. But the economic data that's coming out suggests just the opposite. So, what is going on? Well, we're going to talk about that in just a moment. Hey, friends, Adam Hammer here, Chief Investment Officer at Hammer Financial Group in Lockport, New York, and Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Of course, Hammer Financial Group is led by the esteemed Paul R. Hammer. There's his picture and yours truly. If you ever need to get a hold of us, this is our website, paulhammerfinancial.com. And we have a number of resources available to you. With that said, let's get into the meat and potatoes of the video. So what is going on here? Well, here's really what's been going on since the start of this year. Inflation down about 2.5%. We've had about 2 million new jobs that have been created in the past 6 months. The S&P 500, the NASDAQ have had fantastic starts. Some of the best investment returns we've seen in recent memory. But at the same time, that's not what you hear on TV. So let's talk about what's really happening. We'll use some charts here from our friends at JP Morgan to help drive home the point. This first chart here is GDP. What in the world is GDP? Well, it stands for gross domestic product. The easiest way to understand this, it's all the goods and services produced in the economy, the food that we eat, the cars that we drive, healthcare that we use, education that we use. We start on this graph and we take a look in 2001, this gray squiggly line. We pretty much go higher. We've got this big dip in 2020. I'm sure you remember what that was, COVID. But then pretty much since the pandemic ended, look at this gray line just kind of moves up. GDP has been growing. The economy has been growing. And there's nothing really in the trend line, at least as of today, that would suggest that the trend is going to reverse. So the GDP number looks very good. Let's take a look at another graph. This is unemployment. This is kind of the big one here, because if people have jobs and they're making money, they're probably going to spend some of that money, which is good for the economy. Again, we take a look at our gray squiggly line. Look at November 1982. Unemployment at 10.8%. Wow. And then through time, it kind of goes up and it goes down, it goes up and goes down. But then we get to 2020, again, the pandemic, April of 2020, 14.7% unemployment. Ouch. But again, what's happened since the end of the pandemic? Unemployment rate has declined considerably. And as of June of 2023, we're at 3.6% unemployment. That's historically low. In fact, if you look at this little box in the middle of your screen, you can see that the 50-year average of the unemployment rate is about 6.2%, and we're currently at 3.6. So the job numbers also look very good. And let's take a look at this last graph. This is inflation. Everyone's been talking about it. Everything is more expensive. Again, we start back in the 70s. We take a look at this blue squiggly line. Inflation was very high in the 1970s, comes down in the 80s. Then we fast forward to the modern day. You take a look at 2020, and you see this blue line sharply move up. No doubt about it that we've had inflation. But take a look at what's happened recently. We have inflation that seems like it kind of peaks at about a little under 9%, and now it's come down considerably to the point where as of April of 2023, we're at about 5%, that headline CPI, Consumer Price Index. And again, the trend line is moving down. Again, good news. With all that being said, of course, in this business, there are no guarantees and things can change quickly. But despite what you hear on TV, the GDP is pretty good. Unemployment numbers are good. Inflation is coming down. Stock market has done a lot better. So all in all, things are looking pretty positive. And that's probably not something that you would think if you just relied on media for your information. So that is going to conclude the video. Hopefully you found it of interest. Again, here's our website. Need to contact us. Click that little red button. And if you like these videos, you can go to Resources, Our Insights, and there is all of our previous videos that you can watch. All right, folks. Thank you for watching. Have a great day, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye.